Somebody's gonna try to blackmail me with advertising? Blackmail me with money? Go yourself.
Offer me money. Offer me power. I don't care.
These are times when Elon Musk destroyed wokeness, and in this video, you're gonna see 7 more examples, like when Elon Musk was asked by comedian Bill Maher about his opinion on the woke mind virus.
I never thought that. Because I think you're dealing with big civilizational issues and problems, and I was right on your page. I think Twitter is one of them. I mean, you have talked about this woke mind virus.
Yes.
In really apocalyptic terms.
Yeah.
You should explain why you don't think it's hyperbole to say things like it's pushing civilization towards suicide. First of all, what is the woke mind virus? And if we don't deal with this, nothing else can get done. Tell me why you think that.
Yeah, so I think we need to be very cautious about anything that is anti-meritocratic and anything that is that results in the suppression of free speech. So, you know, those are 2 of the aspects of the woke mind virus that I think are very dangerous. Is that it's often anti-meritocratic.
Then Elon dives deeper and brings up cancel culture as one of the biggest forms of this woke virus, and even Bill relates to this.
Almost synonymous would be cancel culture. And obviously people have tried to cancel you many times.
Many times.
Yeah, I mean,
every week.
Yeah.
From left and right. I've had it from both sides.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. People, you and I are both like in that little group of people, maybe it's a bigger group now, who are called conservative, who haven't really changed.
Elon then talks more about his political standing, which is brave considering the high amount of scrutiny celebrities get for doing this.
Yeah, like I at least think of myself as a moderate, you know. So, I mean, at least I've spent a massive amount of my life energy building sustainable energy, you know, electric vehicles and batteries and solar and stuff to help save the environment. That's not a, you know. No. Not exactly far right.
But this next moment is even more personal to Elon. In a talk with Jordan Peterson, Elon Musk talks about children being brainwashed into believing they are a different gender.
Almost every child goes through some kind of identity crisis.
Yeah, it's part of puberty.
Exactly. It's just part of growing up. So it's very possible for adults to manipulate children into are having a natural identity crisis into believing that they are the wrong gender.
Yeah.
Then, when Peterson asked why Elon was so passionate about destroying wokeness, he revealed that the battle was much more personal than anybody ever imagined.
Why are you willing to make this an issue? Do you think?
I mean, well,
it's sort of like the nameless issue.
It happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier. This was before I had really any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, and so there was a lot of confusion. You know, I was told, Xavier might commit suicide.
Elon then tells a personal experience regarding puberty blockers with his son, but then goes deeper on the issue.
It wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs. Anyway, and so I lost my son essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah,
All right. So the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead.
He finally ends his answer with a devastating statement that shows how sensitive this topic is for him, and states his passion to destroy the virus by taking steps such as his purchase of Twitter to maintain free speech and more.
So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and there's lots of people in that situation now.
Right.
It's not pretty, and lots of demolished kids.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason to be the final straw. All right, so let's.
So I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that. And we're making some progress.
Join the club.
Yeah.
Speaking of free speech, Elon goes deeper on his stance in another interview, where a reporter asks him about his fear of losing support because of his public opinions.
Let's talk a bit about your tweets, because it comes up a lot. Even today, it came up in anticipation of this. I mean, you do some tweets that seem to be, or at least give support to some who would call others conspiracy theories.
Well, yes, but I mean, honestly, some of these conspiracy theories have turned out to be true.
Which ones?
Well, like the Hunter Biden laptop.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was a pretty big deal. There was Twitter and others engaged in active suppression of information that was relevant to the public. That's a terrible thing that happened.
Elon stands up for what he believes is right, rather than sucking up to the woke narrative or hiding their beliefs like many other celebrities do.
Why share it? Especially, why share it when people who buy Teslas may not agree with you, advertisers on Twitter may not agree with you? Why not just say, hey, I think this. You can tell me, we can talk about it over there, you can tell your friends, but why share it widely?
I mean, this is freedom of speech. I'm allowed to say what I want.
You absolutely are, but I'm trying to understand why you do, because you have to know it puts you in the middle of the partisan divide in the country. It makes you a lightning rod for criticism. I mean, do you like that? People today saying he's an anti-Semite. I don't think you are.
No, I'm definitely. I'm like a pro-Semite, if anything.
I believe that probably is the case.
Yes.
But why would you even introduce the idea of that?
The interviewer presses Elon about why he ignores cancel culture and states his opinions when it's proven to affect the success of your business. But Elon's answer is what every business owner needs to hear.
What I'm trying even came up though in the annual meeting. I mean, do your tweets hurt the company? Are there Tesla owners who say, I don't agree with his political position and I know it because he shares so much of it? Or are there advertisers on Twitter that Linda Yaccarino will come and say, you got to stop, man. Or, I can't get these ads because of some of the things you tweet.
I'm reminded of there's a scene in The Princess Bride. Great movie.
Great.
Where he confronts the person who killed his father. And he says, offer me money. Offer me power. I don't care.
So you just don't care.
And in the same interview, Musk was asked about the 2020 election, where he surprisingly voted for Biden. But he gives a funny answer when asked about that vote.
2020 election was rigged. Is that something, I assume that's not something you believe?
I think the answer is nuanced. Do I believe Biden won? Yes, I believe he won.
And you voted for it.
I did, actually.
Do you regret that?
I mean, man, I wish we could have just a normal human being as president. That's what I want. I think if we could, there's that old saying of like, we're better off being run by people picked at random from the phone book than the faculty of Harvard.
Yeah.
I don't know who said that, but it was someone very wise. And I would say if we could do that for the president, that would be great.
Elon then goes on to elaborate on his position by drawing a parallel between the role of the president and the role of the CEO.
Somebody's executive ability is underrated. Since the president is effectively the chief executive officer of the country, it actually matters if they're a good executive officer.
Yeah.
It's not simply a matter of do they share your beliefs, and but are they good at getting things done? There's a lot of decisions that need to be made every day. Many of them are unrelated to moral beliefs.
Right.
And you just want a good executive. Because they're CEO of America.
They are.
So we want a good CEO of America.
Elon then goes on to elaborate on his position by drawing a parallel between the role of the president and the role of the CEO. But next, in a much more heated interview, left-wing commentator Don Lemon tries to ask Elon whether he knows what the word woke really means.
It's come to mean a lot of things.
But what originally it was meant to mean, it's just being aware of inequities in society and being aware of facts and history.
Yeah, I think it's come to be. I think being aware of inequities in society is fine, of course, but trying to blame everything on trying to make everything a race issue is, I think, divisive and corrosive to society.
Even as it relates to trans issues, which is what I'm.
Yeah, race or gender or whatever.
But instead of satisfying Don and being stumped at the question, Elon's answer pisses him off so much that he immediately brings up the founding of America into question.
Don't agree that this country was founded on racism and founded on slavery and in many ways inequities that still continue on to this day.
I think every country at that time, and I think even today, was extremely racist. Every country. Obviously, slavery was present in about half of this country, was not present in the North. There was racism for sure, but
Elon then goes on to explain how pointless it is just to think about history without caring about the future.
Look to the future rather than the past, and instead of engaging in constant rehashing of the past.
But this gets more spicy as Elon knows exactly how to mess with Don. He goes on to state a controversial statement to Don.
In fact, if you look at history, if you study history broadly, everyone was a slave. Everyone.
Yes. Well, not everyone was a slave.
No, everyone was a slave.
Okay, but
we are all descended from slaves.
Yeah.
Well, all of us.
Yeah.
It's just a question of when. Was it more recent or less recent? That's it.
Right.
But what future do we want? Is this something we want to make part of our constant dialogue forever, or do we want to say, like, let's just move on and treat everyone, according to just who they are as an individual?
I agree with you with that. That's the ideal. But what the evidence shows.
In a state of shock at what Elon said, Don brings in Elon's white privilege into the question, and Elon, in turn, replies amazingly.
You were able to come to this country voluntarily. There are many people who were not able to come to the country voluntarily. There are people who came here as slaves.
For me to come here.
And there is a legacy of slavery that still continues on. There's a legacy of racism that still continues on in this country. That's undeniable.
Well, if we keep talking about it nonstop, it will never go away. If we keep making that the central thing, it will never go away.
Why do you believe that?
I think I'm just making a simple statement of fact. So I think we want to get away from making everything a race or a gender or whatever issue, and just treat people like individuals.
And Don, seeing that he can't get the upper hand in this discussion, goes on to say that Elon claimed discrimination isn't real, which never actually happened.
And I know that I have. And I know that that's real. And for someone to say that that isn't happening, I should just move forward and not think about that and ignore the past is insulting.
I'm not saying it. Don, you keep putting words in my mouth. I'm not saying it.
I didn't say that you said it.
I'm saying that we want to. We as a country should move beyond the questions of race and gender, and we should treat people like individuals and base our opinions on them on the, their character and their skills.
I don't think that anyone will